The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead. And we're off in week 2. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
They begin the drive with McFarland.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
From the 30 on second down, Murray. He's going deep for Brown. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Duron Harmon. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
I don't think you can fault the decision-making here because your offensive quarterback, they really had a big week last week, and you're ready for them to go again here. Not the anticipated result, of course, but you definitely understand why they did what they did. That quarterback's been hot. You want to keep the ball in his hands and see if he can keep the magic going.
First carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. This defense for the Cardinals, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was popped free, they picked it up.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Cardinals are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching the bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game? It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Murray over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And some room to maneuver. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Connor on first down, working his way forward for about 4 yards. 2nd down coming up.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Murray trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Moehrig.
Well, Brad, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get him next time out.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. In his own end zone, it's Carr. And he slings one that's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incomplete incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. To throw from his end zone, Carr.
Oh, looking for water, but this is intercepted.
Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football.
And the Cards are going to take possession of the football.
And I think they are going to get this one back. Well, that would have been something, double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT. On 1st and 10 is Conner. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now they continue with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Throwing now is Murray. This is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Cardinals are on the board first here in Vegas.
Prater for the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he returns this to the 22. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He was a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
The Raiders had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Carr. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this 1st quarter.
And the Cardinals are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Charles, I don't know what's going on in that defensive team meeting room, but they better keep it rolling. 3 picks last week, 2 here now in the 1st quarter.
Everyone talks about creating turnovers and getting takeaways, but until it gets put into action, It's just talk. And right now, it's in action and in a big way. Now they've got the receivers wondering if they have to turn around and play more defense instead of running routes trying to take the ball downfield.
After the turnover, here's Murray. He's going deep for Brown. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. Marquise Brown with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Cardinals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point good by Prater. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Cardinals 14, Raiders nothing. And Prater to kick off for Arizona.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
At their own 11-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
And he'll wind up getting this to the 32. A play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. First down from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. On play action. Now Carr.
A pass complete downfield to Renfro.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. 14-0 to score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
And he gets it down to the 32.
A gain of 4 yards. That's another Raiders.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Flushed out right. Touchdown Raiders. Hunter Renfro, 32 yards. And the Raiders have cut it back within a score. And that time he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
It is rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Denzel Perryman with a sack. That last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot. 3rd and long. Back to throw. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. Murray a give. This is counter. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. They'll fake it to counter. Now Murray. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
On 2nd and 10, Murray. And this is caught by Watkins. He'll get it inside the 20. Touchdown! Quez Watkins, 43 yards. And the Cardinals have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Prater for the extra point. And it's now 21-7. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
Hey, 734.
Carr now on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he stopped immediately there. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Looking deep for Adams. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Lets this go for Renfro downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Marco Wilson. And the Cards are going to take possession of the football. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing, because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Now a throw in the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Denzel Perryman.
And the Cardinals are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
Wow, so wipe out the INT, roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
On play action, it's Murray. And this is going to be intercepted.
And the Raiders are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all. I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back near his goal line. Here's Carr.
Kamu Grugier-Hill getting in there and taking him down. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though. And they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
And according to our friends with Next Gen Stats, that sack occurred in a mere 2.1 seconds. Good luck trying to avoid that.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Carr going to go on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off, and that will force a turnover on downs. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
And that is caught by Brown for a Cardinal touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cardinals take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it, but I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up and negate the touchdown that was just given up.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
That one brought back a few nightmares because when a quarterback gets outside of the pocket, your job as a defensive back, make sure you stay as deep as the deepest receiver and not let anyone leak behind you for a big play. A nice job there having discipline and not letting them connect on that pass.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
Lets this go for Renfrow downfield.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Murray now on 1st down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Rocky Sin. And the Raiders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. Working from the gun, it's Carr.
Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And he'll look downfield for Waller.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Von Bell.
And the Cards are going to have it here just past the 25. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Flush to his right. And now here is another interception. Wow, a big mistake there. Late interception in this first half, and that could lead to a field goal try the other way.
Yeah, I think at this point you just have to say, let's take a knee and go into the half and regroup. Let's just talk it over a little bit. I wonder, partner, was the analytics coach in his head a little bit? Maybe go ahead and press it and try and get some points. While the old school coach probably would have said, take the knee, let's get out of here.
Now we could see points the other way here. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this 3rd quarter of action.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Your mark.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
Tackle made back at the 22-yard line.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Marco Wilson.
And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are...
He's got a man complete.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And the Las Vegas first down. First and 10.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Open man, that's Renfro.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Into the red zone, it's Carr.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Complete to Josh Jacobs. 4 yards on the pickup.
From the 16, Carr. Waller taking it in over the middle. Touchdown, Raiders! Darren Waller, a 16-yard touchdown.
And the Raiders are able to cut into that deficit.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Cardinals take over first and 10.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin first and 10. Meanwhile, Murray's throw pulled in by Hopkins.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. So here's a first and 10 at the 38. Murray now. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, no surprise there. He was looking for one of his favorite targets again as soon as he left the pocket. But the coverage was good downfield. They got right to the receiver and helped prevent that completion.
Murray's throw here complete into the hands of Ertz.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. First target, first catch, and a first down. A give running right is counter. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Here's Murray. And that is incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Murray. Going deep for Hopkins. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's fourth down. Here's Andy Lee now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right. And after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. On play action, now Carr. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Isaiah Simmons getting by the offensive line and dropping the quarterback.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted, and you can tell. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Marco Wilson. And the Cardinals are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
After the turnover, here's Murray. He's going deep for Brown. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. Marquise Brown, 50 yards. And the Cardinals will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Prater for the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25.
Cardinals 42, Raiders 17.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive.
He's got a man complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. He finds his man complete. It's Jacobs. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Go see. Raider 1. Raider 2. 694.
Now Carr. And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Nick Vigil.
And the Cards are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Duron Harmon.
And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Now after the INT, it's Carr.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. And we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
The Raiders on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Carr. Touchdown! Foster Moreau. 23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Raiders take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Well, it seemed like they were so focused elsewhere they forgot about the tight end spot, and he's the one that burns them there to make this a 3-score game here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
I think there might be a little bit of defensive fatigue from those guys on that side of the ball, partner, because they've been spending their time trying to stop them from all angles. This time the tight end gets them.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
Fair catch, made at the 25-yard line. The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think that we might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he tried it out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let them go out there with a little bit more confidence.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To throw, it's Murray. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 23 yards on the play. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
He's going deep for Brown. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Duron Harmon.
And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception. And I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to...
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Lets this go for Renfrow downfield.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Trayvon Mullen.
And the Cardinals are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. But with the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along. If you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make...
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Quez Watkins.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Cards are on their way to a 2-0 start.
Extra point good by Prater. And they open the lead up now to 25.
Cardinals 49, Raiders 24. Matt Prater to kick off for Arizona.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And it's complete to Adams.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good for Las Vegas. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
It's Zaven Collins who got in there to get the sack.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
It's caught inside the 25.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw.
Crossing route, and he's got his man. It's Renfrow.
They'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Here's Jacobs. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Now Carr.
And he's got Renfrow in the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders.
Great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Raiders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it'll cut the lead down to 18. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, fourth quarter, and a chance if they want to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
Now Murray off play action. They'll roll him out right. He's going deep for Brown. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
This offense so far on third down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To throw is Murray. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Murray sets to throw on 4th. Zach Ertz has it complete. And he is going to have the Cardinals first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Murray. He's going deep for Brown. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball. Could not hang on. 2nd down coming up. Murray's going to look to throw this thing. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 28. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Offensively, another big chunk of yardage, Charles, but defensively, they had all this talk about trying to limit explosive plays. They have not been able to do that.
They discussed it all week, but they haven't been able to execute it at all.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Quez Watkins, 28 yards. And the Cardinals are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
Well, there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
93.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Play action. Now it's Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now a play fake. Carr.
Slant to Adams.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Carr now on 1st down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
They probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Back to throw it. Murray. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
So I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you, no question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
Now, this will be a return from deep in the end zone. And that final kickoff concludes the ball game, partner, and one side a really nice win in this one. They were good on offense and on defense.
And I'm guessing in the other locker room, partner, the head coach is just telling his team, hey, we didn't play well enough to keep it close enough where that one possession down the stretch might have given us an opportunity to win the game.
So for Arizona, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the L.A. Rams.
Meanwhile, for Las Vegas,
they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll try to rebound next week.